Hey, welcome, guys. I'm Caleb Pierce, Pink Power Brands, Pink Power Cleaning, Pink Power Pest Control. We deliver amazingly clean homes in Dayton, Ohio, and in the surrounding area. So we clean Troy, Ohio, pest control in Troy, Ohio, Springboro, Ohio, cleaning and pest control in Springboro and in Troy, Ohio. And also, we're delivering amazingly clean and beautiful places in downtown Sydney, Ohio. So it's awesome having our team. We got a great team. We're so excited that we have such an amazing team at Pink Power. And one of the reasons that it's happened is because of this leadership course, the leadership things that we've been learning. Some of the great people that you can learn from, it's Earl Nightingale. He was around in the 1950s, and he has some great speeches on just communication and how to help people. And, one of the things I was listening to with Earl Nightingale just right before we began is a little bit about sales. And what I thought was kind of cool is the techniques of asking open-ended questions and just finding out what the clients want. He was teaching that back then. So things don't change. These policies, these principles, these actions, they're going to be around forever. And the things that work just work no matter who you're talking to, no matter who you're dealing with. And so it's awesome to see how much that people really do enjoy being appreciated. They want to know that you actually care about what's going on in their life. So delegation. Today we're talking about how to empower leaders without micromanaging. So, here is a quick little thing. You assign a project to a teammate and they don't do it exactly how you would. What do you do? So one person, option A, take back and redo it yourself. Option B, let them figure it out, even if they're struggling. Option C could be coach them and refine them, and you put together the process together. Which one do you think is the best option? That's right. It's option C. You want to coach someone and help them refine the process with you to make it even better. And something I really think that's awesome is like we have different flows and different systems. And now with AI being able to connect in, we can actually help it program things to where when we go into operations and procedures, because they're clearly documented, the computer can help assist in some of those areas that maybe someone might forget every now and then, or maybe something that could help be automated because we've learned our systems, processes, and how to teach people. So, here's a shocking stat for you guys. 75% of leaders struggle with delegation, leading to burnout and lack of team growth. I'm going to repeat that for you guys, just in case you missed it. And the stat is really simple. Let's make sure my do not disturb is on. So, shocking stat. 75% of leaders struggle with delegation. Wow, that's a lot. And so today we're going to help you achieve that, accomplish it, help get you a little bit further on that struggle to where you can succeed. You can delegate at Pink Power. You can delegate in your company. And you can achieve awesome things because you understand the timeless things of delegation. So here's a question. Have you ever had a task delegated to you poorly? What happened? So going to give you guys a couple things. Here was a task that was delegated to me poorly, and here's what happened. So I was starting off at a new job, and kind of like the job interview phase, it was all I didn't really know what was happening. No one actually did. The owner of the company was like, yeah, we'll hire you. Go ahead and hang out with the sales manager and talk to people. And so I went to the sales manager's office. He was like, dude, he didn't ask me why you here, but he didn't know why I was there. The owner of the company thought I'd hang out there for a few hours, like 45 minutes after just hanging around, not knowing what to do and being like, no one knowing what I was to do. And everything was totally confusing. Eventually, I left. I did return for work the next day. But we needed that clear communication of what exactly was expected. So some of the ways that that situation could have been much better is if I would have asked the key thing. It would have been much better if the owner would have mentioned this, but I can control me. I can't control him. If I would have said, hey, that's a great idea, what are you thinking about me doing while I'm in there? And how long should I be there? And what would be some good questions I could ask him while I'm in there? And, if we learn how to ask questions, as we learn how to ask questions and develop and excel, it can really help us do so much better because people love to be asked questions. People want to be known and people want us to find out about them. So here is the 3 levels of delegation. I'm going to blast through the 3, and then I'm going to revisit each one and share with you some more information. So the 3 levels of delegation. Number 1, you task delegation. It's a beginner stage. The second way you delegate is you responsibility delegate. So that's the growth stage. And then the third one is you delegate ownership and leadership. And that is the empowered stage. So that's the one where they're accomplishing things. They're able to succeed on their own without asking you questions. So we're going to dive right into the first one. And here is an interesting point. Delegation is just not handing off work. It's transferring ownership and responsibility while also maintaining accountability. So again, it's not just transferring. It's not like, hey, get that done. But it's also transferring the ownership and accountability and responsibility. And so it's kind of cool. You're maintaining the accountability. You're making sure that it's done, but they're owning how it's done. And they're also taking responsibility to get it done. And so you could just sit back in the end. Once this is flowing good for you, you get to sit back and people get to report to you and say, hey, here's what I did. And you get to say, awesome. I'm so glad you did that. So task 1, delegation, the beginning stage. So leaders do all the thinking, but assign the simple task. So the biggest problem with this one is that the leader still owns all the decision making and gets overwhelmed. Here's some sub points that we have with it. This happens as a leader assigns things that are a one-time task over and over, rather than letting the person know that this is the task each and every time. So what can happen with this is a task-based. Maybe someone doesn't realize that, hey, once a week, we're going to need to go ahead and run payroll. If you let them know, hey, every single week on this date at this time, we're going to go ahead and get payroll done, then it lets that person know, and it helps establish the process of the payroll. Or there's some things that aren't quite so obvious, such as, there's a certain, if you have company vehicles, there's a certain set of oil changes, or if you have your own personal vehicle, your oil change needs done at certain intervals. If you understand that, and if it's simply documented and processed, it's really awesome. A lot of newer vehicles nowadays might even actually show you, hey, oil change time. And those are simple ways that we understand the process, and we can actually get the oil changes done in the time that is needed. So, level 1 is just simply the task delegation. Level 2, it's responsibility delegation. And this is a little bit of the growth stage. Leaders assign ownership of a function and not just the task. So what that means is when you assign ownership of a function, the beautiful thing is that your team is able to go ahead and they know what to do, and they can actually, figure out when the nuances happen. So for example, we'll go back to the oil change. Every X miles, your car needs an oil change. And what if your favorite oil change place was closed that day, or they shut down? Because sometimes in companies too, what happens is that we have a certain preferred vendor, our preferred vendor just drops out. And if the team knows how to kind of reimagine, reinnovate, and they take ownership of it, then the process is just, it's smooth. It keeps going because they're taking ownership of it. This is a really good thing to have. And here's the transition: leadership from telling to coaching and providing resources. So again, some of the things is like, oh, maybe that place is shut down. Hey, have you thought about this other place? Or, just different things like that. An example of this is if you give a team member, you give a team member ownership of the setting of the schedule, but there are still tools and permissions that they don't feel confident in. So, they're kind of owning it, but they're not totally, because they're not confident. They don't feel amazingly well trained. And so, again, level 2, it's good, but it's not the best. We're trying to get you to level 3, and that's what we're focusing on, is how to go ahead and have the ownership delegation, and they're fully empowered to accomplish stuff. So at this stage, since we just talked about like they might not be trained on certain software things, this right here is to where maybe you say, hey, look, there's going to be times that you notice an issue in our system, and we're going to actually encourage you to go ahead, seek out something that might be a better solution. And so that's how, like with our company, we're using Zapier, we're using different integrations to accomplish the goals, because our team came up with ideas of like, hey, have you thought about doing this? And we're like, yeah, that's a great, awesome idea. Different levels of AI. People are coming up with ideas of how to get things done. And so we're accepting it, and it's awesome to see it happen. So here's some of the things in level 3 that you're going to notice. Leaders give full ownership of the areas with clear expectation. So for example, this, as a leader, you can record a one-time video that's smart. So it's specific, measurable, accountable, relatable, time-bound, and you assign the ownership of it to someone else. And with that time bound, you can actually follow up with it. And because you've been smart about it, you've been specific, what's the task you're having done, measurable, they understand, oh, we're going to go from this level of client satisfaction to that level. Accountable, they're owning it, it's relatable, it is something that is inside of their scope that they can have an impact on. And then it's time bound, they know when you're going to follow up with the next set to see how it's going. So that's kind of cool. Giving ownership is awesome. Team members solve problems without constant approval. So the nice thing about in this stage is that the team members, they'll just have things happen. They know how you're going to have it, how you're going to do it, because it's already documented, it's already processed. You put the time in, and so that's a cool thing about it. Is with UBS, with Pink Power, we're going ahead and we're analyzing the different things, the different times, just the amazing things of how things are going, and we understand and we can see how to improve and how to do better. And here is the outcome: business grows without bottlenecks, and leaders focus on high impact work. So imagine this, you're going ahead and your company's actually growing without a bottleneck. People are training other people to do stuff. Stuff's clearly documented and processed. What would that do for your company? How would that impact your life? Um, you know, Even if you're someone, you're like, man, I'm just a technician at the company right now. The cool thing is that there's different ways that you can delegate and that you can elevate and that you can implement this. And you're like, well, you know, you might be one of our frontline people and we need your assistance of, making sure our processes, what we say they are really the processes that they are. Documenting, you can help us see and perceive different ways to improve, how to tweak things, how to grow. Technologies happen, which help empower us. Maybe you're researching in the weekends and, on the nights, and maybe as you drive, you're doing automobile university about how you feel like things could be better. So, maybe you're taking sales courses. Maybe you're taking courses about different AI things and you're just experimenting, you're tinkering around. Maybe you're creating social media posts for the company on your private channel that promote the company. And those different things are different ways to experiment and find out, oh, yeah, these are things that would be really awesome for Pink Power to have. And so, that's different ways that each and every person can go ahead and make an impact, no matter where they're at. Even if you just started a few weeks ago, you got an awesome fresh take. We'd love to hear that. So let us know, where do you think delegation skills currently fall? You can drop a number in the chat. You can, message me through our office chat. You can message me also, Caleb at pinkpower.com. We're a cleaning and pest control company located in Dayton, Ohio. We service Springboro, Ohio, Sydney, Ohio. We clean homes in Tip City, Ohio. We're doing pest control in Moraine, Ohio. We're one of the best cleaning and pest control companies in Dayton, Ohio. We got the whole range of the greater Miami Valley. We're offering services. We're helping people enjoy the gift of a clean space. Our teammates are doing such an amazing job. They deliver day after day, excellence. And it's so awesome to see how much that they're doing great. So I'm going to go ahead right now and I'm going to actually access some of the great reviews that have just been given over the last little bit. And so here's what came in just yesterday about our teammates and how they're doing. In fact, every single review we got yesterday, it's just amazing. Like, there was actually not any complaints. So that, it's awesome to see. We did 101 lives touched. Our team is just like, man, they're amazing. They're doing great. And we're so excited about it. So, for example, Jay said about Sarah, this is the second time that Sage has cleaned my home. I guess it was about Sage. So this is the second time that Sage has cleaned my home. She's done a fantastic job each time. Thank you, Jay. And also, Sage, thank you so much for all the stuff that you're doing at the company. You're making a big impact. You're just helping people enjoy the gift of a clean space. Awesome to see all that you're doing. Thank you so much. It's just a delight to have you. Thank you. And here's another one by Joanne. And it's Lasha was absolutely awesome and efficient and nice and thorough. So it's those simple things. People just stepping up, smiling as they enter the door, having clear communication with the client and with the office staff. They're, just helping people enjoy and get everything done in such a smooth operation. We're so excited with our team at Pink Power Cleaning, Pink Power Pest Control, locally here in Troy, Ohio, based out of. And here's another one about Molly. Love having Molly clean my home. Always quiet and efficient, wonderful energy. And that is an amazing thing about Molly, is that she has just that calm energy. She's so steadfast. She's so amazing. She shows up. She keeps doing a steady job for people. And we are so excited to have Molly as one of our longer teammates here. She does such a great job. So here are some questions that are in relation to this video. And so, what you can do is drop me a message, caleb@pinkpower.com. Another way to do it is to go ahead and message us in our Slack channel, message us in our office channel about your input, even in the leadership channel. You can go ahead and drop it right in there after you watch these videos and let us know what your thoughts are. So think about one task you hesitate to delegate. I got one. So discuss why you hesitate. Is it lack of trust? Fear of mistakes? Maybe for you, it's like, no one does it as good as me. And then also, here's another thing. What's one task or responsibility that you could delegate this week? So some that's cool. Some of the tasks that I was thinking about was actually inside my house with my kids. Like, oh yeah, I could have them do that. And they could do that. And do I trust them? Oh, actually I do. I'm like, hey, I could do that. And then here's some other questions, some quality thought questions. What's the difference between delegating a task and delegating ownership? How can leaders ensure they don't micromanage after delegation? And what's a common mistake leaders make when handing off responsibility? So again, with these questions, some of the ones like common mistakes leaders make. Maybe you've observed a time or two that in Pink Power, we've not quite handed things off, delegated properly. Yeah. We need to, feel free to let us know, because your input is greatly helpful for us. And then also sometimes it could be, okay, here's when leadership did it. And what I like to do is analyze, if they did that, when do I do that? I typically find myself somewhere in the picture that I might have actually done that very same thing. And so here's some takeaways. It's the art of delegating well. How are you going to do it? So number one, of the 5 key areas, you want to define the outcome clearly. So what does success look like? Match the right task to the right person. So consider their skills, strengths, and growth potential. Give necessary tools and training. So empowering them, but don't just abandon them. So you're going to help them a little bit, but you're also going to set the checkpoints, not chains. Avoid micromanaging. Use milestones instead. And you're going to go ahead and create a feedback loop. So the awesome thing on that is that you could celebrate the wins. When someone's doing great, when they're excelling amazingly well, you can celebrate that. You can be like, yes, this is so great. Good job, guys. And so I'm going to go ahead and give you guys those action steps. Again, the 5 keys to effective delegation. Number 1, you're going to define the outcome clearly. Number 2, you're going to match the right task to the right person, and you're going to give necessary tools and training, set checkpoints and not chains, and create a feedback loop. The awesome thing is when all 5 of those things are firing well, you're going to see such a great lift in what you're doing, in how you communicate with others, and in knowing that things will be accomplished amazingly well. And if you need a job, if you'd love to work with us at Pink Power, we are hiring. We're growing constantly. We're excelling. We're hitting new checkpoints. So all you got to do is hit us up, pinkpower.com/hiring. And if you want to, on that, we have different videos. We have different things about Pink Power that will help you see how you will be a great fit, either as a cleaning technician or a pest control expert, in doing the thing of helping people enjoy the gift of a clean home, or helping people enjoy the gift of a clean office through pest control. So they'll enjoy offices that are pest free. They'll enjoy homes that are free from ants, and they will enjoy homes that are just amazingly beautiful, because you guys make an impact and you're doing it. So I'm going to go ahead, and here's a mini leadership challenge. Identify 1 key responsibility to delegate this week, and set a clear outcome, timeline, and check-in process. And again, by all means, you can use reminders that automatically fire on your phone to let you know. So the mini challenge is identify 1 key responsibility to delegate this week, and then set clear outcome, timeline, and check-in process. I got one in my head. Going to do it actually this evening with my kid. So closing reflection, leading through trust. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Where do you think that one came from? So again, it is, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Wise African proverb. Thank you, guys. And here is another one. One small delegation step you can take this week to empower your team. So again, your team, it doesn't matter if it's just, you're one of the frontline teammates that are making such a huge impact, such as Molly. There's little things that, even in your own operation, maybe in your own set, in your own car, there's those small little things that you can set that help the operation flow so much more smoothly. So for example, a way of delegating maybe is, what do I need a bungee strap to help hold those items in the certain spot so they don't bounce around my truck? Maybe it's, if I would grab X more bags, and that would make an impact of a positive one, to where, I might not be overstuffing bags. There's simple things that all of us can do on a daily basis, no matter who it is, no matter how it works, that can make such a huge impact. And so it's awesome seeing that delegation, even if it's delegating in our heads to ourselves, how to make it better. And then also, I want to hear your delegation commitment. So, drop me a message, caleb@pinkpower.com, drop in our chat, in the leadership chat, in, the different things, communicate with us. Let us know what you're working on, how you feel like you're going to improve it. And we want to celebrate with you as you're able to hit those different milestones of success, the different milestones of achieving, because you're doing great every day. And even when you may not feel like you're succeeding and doing great, I know that you're actually consistently improving in the small things. And those things are such a huge important, because over time, the small things can just make an amazing impact. 1% year over year versus someone who doesn't change, it just makes a huge impact when you compound it year over year, because you're not just changing the 1%, but you're changing 1.1. And then next year, it just keeps bumping it. That's an awesome result, compounding effect, kicking off in leadership of how it's going to help you succeed, how it's going to make you better. And I want you guys to stay tuned for next segment. We got coming up tomorrow is creating a true peer-to-peer leadership culture. So next segment, so on creating a true peer-to-peer leadership culture, and we're going to deep dive into helping you do that And so you'll be able to implement things of having that peer-to-peer leadership culture, even when it's your kids at home, having leadership with each other, or if it's in the office and fellow teammates, of having the leadership culture of how each other succeed and how to help each other grow. Thank you guys for watching. Caleb Pierce, Pink Power Brands, Pink Power Cleaning, Pink Power Pest Control, delivering amazingly clean homes that are pest free and people get to relax in them because they got the gift of clean by Pink Power Cleaning, from Springboro, Ohio to Sydney, Ohio, from cleaning, doing pest control from Tip City, Ohio to Sydney, Casstown, Ohio, and Covington, Ohio, many other areas. Thank you guys for watching. Caleb Pierce. Enjoy your day, and thank you for your time. Thank you for taking the time to watch this.